You see it everywhere. You see it in the stock market. You see it everywhere, pie charts. Okay, so first of all, we will divide the circle. Divide the circle into sectors. In case you forgot what a sector means, this is a sector. So it has the center. So it's an angle with a center at the with the vertex at the center of the circle, and 2 radii touching, of course, the circumference. So this is a sector. Each sector represents a category. In our example, since we're going to go back to this one, we have 6 categories. So we're going to have 6 sectors. If we have 6 categories, we have 6 sectors. And also, one other important observation about a pie chart, it has to have the size proportional with the relative frequency. Size of the sector, namely the angle. We call it the central angle. Has to be proportional to the relative frequency. So since I don't want to go back to 3 pages back, basically, well, I didn't copy it. I have to go back to the calculator. So go back to your table. I'm going to copy just the relative frequency for 2012 in our example. So 12.36, 30.36, 16.7, 9.65, 19.83, and 11.11. So this is category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And going back now to the circle, we're going to divvy up the circle into, that will be approximate, of course. We're not going to be able to do it 100% without instruments. And create an angle that represents 12%, that represents 30, 16, and 9, and 18, and 11. We can be as exact as possible. We know that there are 360 degrees in a complete circle. And we can create, so the degree of the angle, we can create, so 12% of 360 and 30% of 360 and 16% of, and so on and so forth. Now, of course, you have to make sure that these add up to 100%, and they have to, unless I typed in something, so, and I made an error. You know me now, I have to check everything. So this has to equal 100%. So 16, 9.65 plus 19.83, 11.11. This has to equal 100%. Yes, there is a minor difference, minor little error, of course. There is always going to be something like that. So I got it 100.01. Maybe I did enter, but I just wanted to make sure that I'm close. And now we can determine the degrees here by simply taking 360 multiplied by 0.1236 and see how many degrees we get. And then we're going to try to estimate. It's not going to be perfect. So 360 multiplied by 0.1236, how many degrees roughly? I'm going to put 45, roughly. 360 multiplied by 0.3036, and I get roughly 109 degrees. 0.167 multiplied by 360 gives us about 60 degrees. 0.0965 multiplied by 360, it gives us about 35 degrees. 0.1983 multiplied by 360, it gives us roughly 71 degrees. And 0.1111 multiplied by 360, it gives us about 40 degrees. If these do not add up to 360, again, I have an error somewhere. Now, 45, 109, of course, is not going to be perfect. We know that. Plus 35, plus 71, and plus 40. It happens that somehow I round it up or down, and it is exactly 360. Once we have that, we go, stop me if you have questions. Any questions? Sip of water. Coming back here. Circle. I'm going to create another one because I want to create a bigger one. Bear with me and say that this is a circle. Of course it's not, but it's close. So the first category, about 45%, it doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to start here because I know that half of 90 degrees is 45. So I'm going to call this sector category 1, 12.36%. Otherwise, I should write elegantly the exact category. I don't have it here. I have it on this paper. I should write exactly what category represents. 25-year-olds or older that do not have a high school diploma. They did not graduate high school. So that's it for 2012. Okay, then the next one has 109 degrees. So perpendicular here, this will be 90 degrees, but I have to go a little bit more because it's 109. So this will be 90 degrees. So I'll go here. It's approximate, of course. Category 2, 30.36%. 30.36%. So that helped me come up with the second category. Okay, next. The next category has 60 degrees. Well, this is 90 perpendicular here. 60 will be somewhere here. So this is category 3, and that is 16.7%. Now I have 3 more categories. The next one is 35 degrees. So again, this is perpendicular here. About here, I would say it's going to be 35 degrees. So this is category 4, and that is 9.65%. And now I move on to category 5, which is 71%. Again, this is perpendicular, but it's much less. So I'm going to say this is category 5. This must be category 6. Category 5 will be 19.83%. And category 6 will be 11.11%. And this is what we call a pie chart. Why is this interesting or nice? Because it's visual. It gives us clear representation that this is the biggest category, and the rest, you know, this will be the next in line, the 19%, etc. This is not a perfect graph. I estimated the degrees. The degrees were there, but graphing 35 degrees is of course has errors. Okay. I think we completed 2.1, but let's look at these 2 questions real quick and then continue with 2.2. And when we look at discrete data. So which is better at comparing categories? a pie chart or a bar graph when we compare categories? So before you say anything, we compared categories. Was it a pie chart or a bar graph? Yes, thank you very much. This is better for comparing side-by-side categories. Which is better at comparing a category to the whole? A category to the whole. Which one is better, a pie chart or a bar graph? I don't know what I wanted to write here. Sorry. Yeah, yes, indeed, it's a pie chart. It's a pie chart. When we want to compare, now it's very clear that this is the biggest category, because it has 30% and the angle is the biggest. The central angle is the biggest for 30%. So when we compare one category to everything, to the whole, then we prefer the pie chart because it's representative. But when we want to compare, especially side by side, of course we will be using a bar graph. Very good. So let's move on. I only had this piece here because it will take some time. I want to also show you how to enter data in Statcrunch in case you want to use it. It's a long data set with 40 randomly selected 15-minute intervals. We're going to look at that. So this time we are looking at organizing. So this is section 2.2. 2.2. Organizing discrete data. So it's quantitative, but the first item is discrete data in tables. Tables. Okay. So we have the same situation, but this time we don't have categories. We have quantitative data, and it refers to the number of arrivals at Wendy's and so on and so forth. Let's read the question. So it says construct a frequency, the same idea step by step, construct a frequency and a relative frequency distribution from the discrete data given below. And here it is. So we know how to enter data in the graphing calculator. That this time I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go to Statcrunch. Let's do that with Statcrunch. So please log in. So go to Home. Let's go to Home. Let's go to My Labs Plus and Quizzes. Please click on this. I'm already in there, so I don't know if it considers me or if I have to log in again. No. Okay, very good. Click on the course. Let me know if you're keeping up. Are we okay so far? Everyone? Then, yes? Said it.
No.
Okay.
Can you go back? I just reached my left spot.
Yes, just go to, yes, just log in.
Okay.
Yeah, just log in. I did not enter the data because I wanted to do it with you. So after you logged in, are you logged in? And then we click on Statcrunch. Yes, everyone? Any questions? Anyone needs help? Okay, click on Statcrunch. It's a program that will help us do the same thing that we do with the calculator. I'll show both. Visit the Statcrunch website. Let's click on that. Let me know if you fall behind. I don't want anyone to fall behind. Open Statcrunch. I already have it open, but I want to show you. Open Statcrunch. Click on the variable. And let's say we want to call it Wendy's. I need my keyboard. Wendy's. And let's enter it now. carefully. I'm double checking. As you see, I have data entry errors all over the place. 7, 6, 6. I'm not going to read it to you, so you can just carefully enter the data. Make sure you get 40. I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting 40. Yes?
For me, it says I have to pay for it or get an access code.
But you did pay for it.
It says apparently I didn't.
Well, then watch carefully what I'm doing here. And we can talk about it after class. I don't have an answer right this moment. I'm not sure why that is.
Professor,
Yes?
once I'm at Statcrunch, I'm sorry, I couldn't see your screen. What do I do once I'm at the actual website? Where do I go?
Enter Statcrunch.
Yeah.
You are in already?
Yeah.
So it opens up Statcrunch.
Yeah.
And at the very top, highlight variable 1
Okay.
and type in Wendy's. And then type in those 40, entries. So 5, 4, 6, where am I? 2, 9, 7, 5. Make sure you have 40. And let me know. So first we want to construct a frequency and a relative frequency distribution.